something a little bit different today. Just got myself a new camera for fitting onto my helmet for when I'm on the motorbike. I've been on the lookout for some time for something that's a lot more low profile than the GoPro square box type thing, and there's a few about. Probably the best ones are the Sony action cams, but they're pretty expensive. And Drift make a range of cameras too. They've had one called a Ghost S, which I think is about £200, and a 4K version which is £300 odd, maybe even 400. But they've just brought out a new model called the Ghost X, which is what we've got here. Just arrived from my friendly Thai postman, which is supposed to be £120, but for some reason at AliExpress it was only £85, so I'm not quite sure why it's so much cheaper. But I jumped at the price and ordered one straight away. It's only been out a few months, but the reviews I've seen so far have been pretty good. So this is how it comes. Not an awful lot of pieces to it, unlike the SJ cams that I use at the moment and GoPros. Not a massive range of mounts. Basically, we've got the camera here, which fits onto the side of the helmet. Just 3 buttons for operating the camera, and at the back we have got a small screen and inputs for an external microphone and a USB lead for transferring the video over from the camera to your computer. The camera itself is equipped with a fully rotating lens. This thing goes through about 300 degrees, I believe. So whatever way you fix it into your helmet, if it's not exactly vertical, you can jiggle the lens about a bit and make sure that your video is perfectly vertical. As far as accessories are concerned, this is it. There is on the side of the camera here, I haven't actually taken off the packaging yet, a fastening to fasten it to a clip. And they supply you with 2 clips to fix onto your helmet or anywhere else you wanted to fix it. This is a flat one, and this is the one I'll be using, which is the curved one, which you pop on your helmet and the camera just clips in there. Simple as that. This is an adapter for an external microphone, which unlike GoPro isn't an added extra that costs a ridiculous amount of money. And another USB lead to add to my ever increasing collection. I believe this is a mini USB, which is the same as my SJ cam leads. And last but not least, you get a manual in a selection of languages. First one of which, thankfully, is English. So I'll be setting this up, getting it all charged up, and then I'm going to pop out a bit later and we'll take some footage. Won't be anything that exciting, but just basically to see what sort of quality we get out of it. It films in 1080p, which is full HD. Having said that, only up to 30 frames per second. whereas my SJ cams do 60 frames per second. It would have been nice to have that, but these days I tend to producing my films in 24 frames per second. Mainly use the Canon DSLR for stuff when I'm not on the bike, and I've found that filming on the bike in 30 frames per second and then slowing it down to 24 actually makes for quite a smooth video, but not ridiculously slow-mo. So I think I shall continue to do that. Anyway, I'll catch you later with some sample footage which I shall take when I pop out to get some dinner later. See you in a bit. Okay, still 1080p 30, field of view's back to 140 degrees, but I've put the bit rate on maximum, so maybe the quality may be a little bit better, we'll see later. So this is 720p at 60 frames per second, which I will slow down on the computer, and I've still got the bit rate on high. Okay, back to 1080p 30. I've changed the filter from normal to vivid, which should boost the colour saturation. Though whether I'd use that is debatable, because I can do that a lot more accurately in the editing software. And I've put the bitrate back down to medium.
been thinking about